Okay, welcome. Thank you very much for clicking on. Do you ever wonder what type of things you can find at car boot sales? Well, stick around. I'm going to share with you this weekend's haul or some of the antiques and collectibles I have bought at car boot sale. I'm an antique dealer and a UK reseller. I go around car boot sales, flea markets, you name it, anyway, charity shops, sourcing antiques, vintage treasures, anything, you name it. And today is a haul video, and what I do today is I'm going to share the items or some of the items I've picked for today's video, show you them, talk a little bit about them, show you or tell you what I paid for them, and show you or tell you what I'm going to sell them for. So, if you're looking for eBay inspiration or Etsy inspiration of things to buy, or whether you just want to be entertained, stick around and we'll have a little look. I'm going to start off with what has to be my favorite item for today's video. It's very heavy. Are you ready? Look at the size on that. Can you imagine the gun that fired a shell this size? It is a proper shell. So this will be, I don't know the date because the bottom is dirty and I don't want to clean it up a minute. But I will have a little look later to find out what date and what size the actual shell casing is. And then it can tell me what fired it and everything else. The shell is 6.5 inches wide. 28 inches long. Can you imagine what would fire this? Beautiful beast. Now, I bought it and I thought, wouldn't that make an amazing stick stand? Now, if you're a military collector or something like that, and you collect stick stands, can you imagine you got all your military canes with the silver tops sticking out of this? How wonderful would it be? It's the biggest shell I've ever bought at a car boot sale. I often see little shells decorated, trench art, engraved or embossed patterns in them. Never seen a shell this size. Now, I got to be careful because I know one of my subscribers or followers has just had trouble with Royal Mail destroying a trench art vase she sent through the mail. 100-year-old vase or World War II vase. I think it was World War I actually. So 100-year-old brass vase and they destroyed it because it's dangerous. I don't know what it's all coming to, but yeah. Now, it's really heavy. I paid a tenner for it. Scrap value, got to be 20 quid, 30 quid, just in scrap. Really heavy thing. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's huge. Now, wouldn't that make a good stick stand? Now, I've had a look online at land auctions. There's been 2 or 3 of these sold, and they've achieved between £40 and £60 in a land auction. Then you've got their commission to go on top of them. No point searching eBay for something like this. eBay won't allow it. eBay only allow you to sell trench art that has been severely altered. If I was to list this shell on eBay, I'd be suspended or thrown off. So be very careful when doing trench art on eBay. But yeah, they sell in a land auction £40 to £60 plus your 20% plus your VAT. So that's sort of 70, 80 quid. So I thought £85 for a shell of this size, no brainer. Stick stand, that's how it's going to be sold, is a trench art shell vase stick stand. And, well, what can I say? It's absolutely fabulous, isn't it? Have you seen one this big? Or bigger? Let me know. I tell you what, it's a good weight. So, if I stick with a bit of militaria, since I love militaria anyway, we move on to this beautiful thing. Look at that. A bronze cannon. Now, I may be wrong, but that there tells me it's a firing cannon. This may actually fire. Maybe it was a starting cannon, I'm not sure. Now, it has got a replacement screw for one of the wheels. There. They've put a replacement screw in on one of the wheels. I'm not bothered. It's inside. You can't see it really, especially when it's on display. Look at that. Now, I paid a tenner for this, and I absolutely love it. I got to be honest, it was fabulous. The patina on there, the bronze, it's just amazing. And I think that's £100 of anybody's money. I really do. Big bronze cannon like that. Total length on it, give you an idea, is 14.5, 15 inches, give or take. So, what a beautiful thing. I'm going to wax all this up, give it a nice glow and finish. A simple bit of beeswax on that. I may actually film this. I'm not going to touch the bronze. I'm not going to clean it. All I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of wax on this, and I might do a before and after photograph or video for you to see what it looks like once it's waxed up. But that's going to look amazing. Can you imagine that? If you collect cannons, or if you want that on the desk, how amazing is that going to look? I paid a tenner for it, but I'm telling you now, it's going out for 95 all day long. And if it doesn't, guess whose desk it's going to be sitting on? I just want to stick with militaria just for a few minutes. And I know it's not militaria as such, but it is. So you have Washington there, and it is the bicentenary of the American Revolution, 1776 to 1976. So we know this was made in or around 1975, ready for 1976. It's by Limoges Porcelain in a limited edition of France, and this is number 2571 of 10,000. That's all that were made of these. 10,000 of them. So there's all the information. What you see in gold down there, that's the limitation number. And it's a cognac, it's a decanter. Now it's got no chips, no cracks. I love this military sort of drum look to it. The only thing it's missing is the stopper. The cork is all damaged. So you'll have to replace the cork. But what a really nice thing. Now, originally, it would have had a cork with maybe a little bit of white porcelain on the top of it to blend in. But a simple cork would do, or you just display it like that. Either way, it is a beautiful piece of Limoges porcelain. Lovely bit of militaria history. And I paid £3 for it. And I shall be asking about 35 to 40 for it. That came in from Tiraberth, off a dealer. £3. Get the gear this weekend. I bought 3 pieces off one dealer, and I absolutely love them. Let's start off with this. Now, Chinese porcelain, Chinese artifacts, Chinese antiques, Chinese bronze, you name it, it's all seriously desirable. Now, look at the pattern on this. You got beautiful dragon chasing the pearl. Look at that dragon. Absolutely beautiful engraved, deep, thick engraving. Now, if you look to the base, it has a Ming mark. So that's the Great Ming period. It's probably, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, the Qingwao mark or something. Can't pronounce it. Anyway, it's 20th century. You can see here made in China. Now, things were stamped China from 1891 and from about 1910 made in China. So it can still be an antique. It's going to be early 20th century. So it's still over 100-year-old. It's a lovely bowl. The amount of people that see made in China on stuff or just China on stuff and think it's modern rubbish, when in all honesty, sometimes it is still early. But yeah, beautiful thing. So that's my first. And I think a bowl like that's going to be sort of £50, £55. Then I had this, which is a 19th century Parian Ware jug. Absolutely stunning jug. Let me see if I can get a better picture for it. There you go. Look at that. Now, you see the hole there and there? It means it may have, at some point, had a pewter lid, or it was designed to have one added if they wanted it. Not all of them have them, but it's got the holes there for the pewter lid if you wanted it. There is a small chip on this one, which I didn't actually see on the day on the foot. I did look, I didn't see it. Maybe I chipped it, I don't know. However, this piece is absolutely fabulous. I have found them. I'm not going to screen share because it keeps freezing on me, but I have found them in the, where is it? Hampshire Cultural Trust. So in the museum, and they have the association of the jug is by Copley John Singleton, and it was production date is 17th of the 10th 1848. Production by Potter T&R Boot, BOOTE of Burslem. I'll put the link to the jug I found and the info I found on the video if anybody wants to see or go and look at that information on the trust. But a beautiful thing. Now, if it's in the trust, They obviously value it. I'm really devastated about that chip there. I'm sure it didn't have it. It looks quite clean. If it didn't have that chip, I'd be asking a lot more money for it, I'll be honest with you. But it's a beautiful jug, display's beautiful. Even if it was to get £35, £40 for it, I'm happy. And then it's the next piece, which I did buy knowing it had a bit of damage. But it is spectacular. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Move the mic out the way a minute. So we have Swan vase, heavily encrusted with flowers. Now you can see here, the flowers chain is broke there. And it has lost some petals. A couple of petals are gone. However, this is probably 2 or 3 kilos in weight of pure porcelain. It is by a company in Germany called Sitzendorf, copying Meissen, because Meissen also did them. It has the Sitzendorf mark. You see the 2 lines with the S running through it. That's for Sitzendorf. Now, I thought this was 19th century. That's how I felt when I bought it. I've put it up on a couple of groups to ask for a little bit of advice on there. And it hasn't even been washed. Look at that. I haven't even washed the paper off where they wrapped it yet. Now, what I will say is, somebody come back and said it's early 20th century. So I'm not going to argue. I asked for help. They've given their opinion. So that's what I'm going to go with, because they obviously knew more about it than me. And it is stamped T-Pose at the back, which would mean, for me, it'd have to be after 1891. So, apart from the food chips, if it didn't have these food chips or that bit of flour loss there, I'd be asking hundreds of pounds for this. I still think it's £50, £60, no problem at all, as it is, as a decorative piece. Look at that. You have a putty playing a violin, harp rather, sorry. Putty playing a harp, sitting on the Swan, and just a beautiful piece of porcelain. Really top-end porcelain that would have been. So, those 3 pieces, the Chinese bowl, the 19th century Parian ware jug, and the Sitzendorf porcelain, Swan and Putty, they owe me £15 for the 3. It was a no-brainer, wasn't it? How could I not buy them at that price? The bowl, I'm going to be putting, the Chinese brass bowl, I'm going to be asking 50, 55. I'm not selling it under 50 quid, otherwise it'll stay on my site. The Parian ware, I'm a bit more negotiable since I found the chip on the foot. So somewhere between 30 and 40. And the Sitzendorf 50 to 70, somewhere under there, because of the condition. And again, if somebody makes me an offer, then I would probably let it go because of the condition. Now, I bought another piece, £8. £8 they were asking. Now, if you love Oriental, you're going to love this. This is a Cantonese or Chinese carved container. Nope, it's upside down. There we go. Let's try that again. You can see the forest, all the trees, all the people sitting down at tables talking. How wonderful is that? Yeah. I'm trying to have a look at what I think of the age. Now, I think, in my opinion, it's going to be 20th century. But I do think it's early 20th century rather than late 20th century. And there's a lot of work gone into that. Could you imagine sitting there and carving a piece of tree and carving all this bamboo and all these things out of it? Just looking at it now, normally I associate bamboo with Japanese, but I'm still thinking it's Cantonese, Chinese. So maybe you could help, leave an opinion, let me know what you think. Japanese, Chinese, I think Chinese, still Cantonese, but seeing bamboo throws me. Anytime I see bamboo on Chinese pieces, I start thinking, is it Japanese or is it Chinese? Anyway, I think it's Chinese, Cantonese. I believe it's early 20th century. It's all carved, beautiful piece beautiful container, and I paid £8 for it. And I'm not going to be selling it for less than sort of £60, £75, somewhere around that mark. It's a beautiful thing. In fact, it's going to be going for 75, whether it's Japanese or Chinese. I'm going to be putting 75 on it, and that's where it's going to stay. They'll either buy it or they won't, because I absolutely love it. That's the trouble when you buy things. You go to your car boot sale and you're looking for vintage treasures and things. And the trouble is, when you buy things you love, you don't want to sell them and flip them for a profit. My website is full of stuff like this that I just don't want to part with. If you're interested, I got close on 5,000 items on the website. Go and have a look out of curiosity. It's antiquesarena.com. You'll also find lots of blogs and articles there designed to help you. Moving along, I think this might be the final one for today's video. I got loads more, but I'll make a few videos. We have a wooden box. I'm going to give you some close-ups first, and let's see what you think of it, and then I'll tell you what it is. So we'll start off here. Do you know what that V stands for? V for victory. This is a World War II cigar box. On the front, we have the impressed V with the crown above it for victory, and it is Corona is the make, so it's advertising the tobacco brand. There it is again, V for victory. Now, during World War II, there was a lot of things. V for victory, dig for victory. Dig for victory was where they encouraged people to grow food in their gardens, in containers, on windowsills, in allotments, you name it. During World War II, part of the problem we had was we were starving. All our food supplies were cut off and things, and we were starving. So one of the things they were encouraging was dig for victory, plant and grow your own foods. Well, this is V for victory. And lovely, lovely cigar box. It cost me 50p. Or tobacco box, cigar box. I call it a cigar box. It's even got the V for victory on the inside. Look at that. Now, I haven't looked them up, but I can tell you now that's going on for 20 quid for 50p. How's that for a lovely little bit of advertising and militaria at the same time? So I'm going to call it by there on today's video. Do you have a favourite? Because I think I'm going to be hard pressed to choose one. I love the cannon, I love the Chinese bowl, I love the shell, I love it all. Absolutely love everything I've bought this week, and if none of it sold, I'd be happy to just enjoy keeping in looking at it. Can't do that though, can we? Somewhere along the line, the money got to come back in. Now, I met, got to be 10 or 15 people come up to see me in Cowbridge and Gethley this weekend. So I can't name everybody, but thank you very, very much. I really appreciate everybody who come and said hello this weekend. And I had one or two people, followers, sell me some lovely pieces. I hope I'm getting his name right. I think it was Scott. Introduced himself and sold me some lovely things, extremely cheap. If I've got your name wrong, I'm sorry. I did meet quite a few people in Cowbridge on Sunday, but I'm sure it was Scott. But if it is wrong, please comment in the box and I will correct it next time, but I'm sure it was. I got loads more to share, but that'll be in tomorrow's video. Oh, well, not tomorrow, the next video I put out. I do regular haul videos. If you love seeing stuff like this and seeing what type of things I'm finding, check out my haul videos. I got hundreds and hundreds of haul videos. I got tutorial videos, how-to videos, tip videos, you name it. It's all there on my YouTube channel. Check out my playlists and have a look. Anyway, if you made it this far, honestly, I can't thank you enough. If you liked the video, would love you if you'd put a like, a comment on the video. If you didn't, that's okay too. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, I understand that. If you want to help my channel, then I would absolutely love it if you'd share the videos. It's a free way for you to help, or just visit the website and have a browse. Thank you very much, and I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you at the next one. Bye for now.